Hey,
Jack called out, waving to the ivory gold skeleton. This new guy approached and spoke in the same heroic voice as Jack.
hello me. It's me again.
Megadeth? How ironic.
So I take it, Neolith and Jakon have been beaten, and you just woke up.
The skeleton asked tentatively.
Well, yeah, that's what I was told. Who are you? Oh, so we lost our memory. This is going to be a problem.
The skeleton brought his hand to his chin and looked thoughtfully.
We lost our memory.
Jack was confused and on the border of walking away.
When did we become so dumb? Just how much memory did we lose?
The skeleton continued to look thoughtfully, but now with his head slightly hung.
Hey now, I don't know what is going on. I don't know who you are. I don't even know who I am.
Jack was pissed. He just got called stupid by a bonehead.
All right, calm down. Listen, our name is Jack Bonereaper, and we are known as the Holy Witch King, the ruler and supreme pontiff of our kingdom, the Holy Kingdom, Goth.
Jack was shocked.
The same first name? I mean, the last name is different, but what are the odds of the same first name?
We don't have much time before I dissipate, so listen quickly.
The avatar of the Holy Witch King spoke.
We weren't sure what would happen when we called down our strongest hymn, but we figured memory loss might be one of them. So we have set up a table to our right with a few key holy books to help in just such a situation. Each table here has pre-planned books for each step we will need.
The avatar started to drone.
So, he thinks I am him, huh? Wait. Am I him?
Jack paused.
Am I, actually, the Holy Witch King?
What is your current reverence level?
The avatar spoke hopefully.
My what?
Jack returned from his thoughts.
Oh, that's also not good. Can you feel your connection to the holy light?
There is such a thing as a connection to the Holy Light. I just made that up.
Jack mentally retorted.
No.
Jack answered.
Oh, well, 2 tables down on the left have all the cultivation books to increase our power again, and there is further reading, as each table has been clearly listed.
The avatar pointed to each table.
Okay. Sue, how do I read them?
Jack questioned after looking at the table in front of him with words he had no idea how to read or write.
Oh, that is.
The avatar shook his head.
Say, oh, one more time. I dare you. I dare you. Just one more time.
Jack said angrily. The avatar then looked at Jack oddly.
Step to this table here and place your hand on this book. Concentrate on the light. There should be just enough holy power left in our old bones to have this work.
The avatar guided Jack. Jack did as the avatar told him. His bony hands placed on this golden arcane book with a black spine. After a few minutes of waiting, nothing happened.
We have to feel the holy power in us and channel it into the book, since you can't draw it into you from the outside.
The avatar coaxed. Jack looked up at the skeletal avatar.
Explain this to me like I was a child. We never had children. Oh, Julia.
The avatar said sadly, shaking his head ever so slightly.
Hey, focus. You said you didn't have long.
Jack berated.
Oh, draw the power from our bones. It has a warm feeling, then channel it into the holy book here. The warm feeling can spout anywhere in you. You just have to get this feeling and move it to your hand to the book with your mind.
The avatar spoke slowly and clearly. Jack complied, and for a few seconds felt nothing, but then on the left side of his rib cage, He felt a warm feeling in one of his ribs. He urged this feeling along the rib to his back, into his spine, up his spine, into his shoulder bone, down his arm, and into his hand on the book. Once Jack completed this, the book lit up brightly and glowed. As it did, knowledge poured into Jack's mind with a pounding headache.
Like the Matrix.
Even as his mind was busting from the feeling of getting a large amount of information, he did not fail to make such an internal comment.
Our time was too short, and we didn't expect things to fall to such an extent. We wish we had more time to explain, but I guess I have failed to account for how much of a burden our hymn of the Reaper would be.
The Avatar looked at Jack, who had just regained a sense of his surroundings, as Jack had been absorbing the information for an overly extended period of time.
This is the last of our power, and should kickstart our cultivation.
As the Avatar said this, he approached Jack and placed his hand on his ribcage. In a burst of gold light, he was gone, absorbed into Jack.
That was interesting. Was my past life a dream? Or did I reincarnate into his body and world?
Jack stood there pondering this question, mulling it over and over. Soon, he shoved it to the back of his mind, as he couldn't figure it out.
Does it matter? I might as well make the best of this. My last life sucked. I always wanted to be a rich guy surrounded by beauties.
Jack thought wonderfully. Soon, however, he looked down to see his rib cage sticking out of his robes.
What the hell is the point of having money or women? I can't eat, I can't drink, I can't even have sex.
Jack started to break down again. This was the third time since he woke up. First was when he realized he was dead. Then when he saw all the undead, and now when he realized what it really meant to not have a flesh and blood body. Jack slumped over and crumbled to the black carpeted floor. So much for making the best of things. Jack was really into erotic fiction in his last life. He lived alone and could only entertain himself. Needless to say, Jack no longer wanted to relive, whatever he was currently doing. Jack's thoughts ran along these lines for some time, until a new thought occurred.
Wait. Why is Leslie so into me, the Holy Witch King? I mean, I'm a skeleton who can't even bone for crying out loud.
As Jack thought this, he kept rolling back and forth on the ground. Childish. Jack had no shame when he was alone. He was used to acting stupidly by himself. Nothing changed now. Jack finally stopped his tirade, stood up, and pulled a chair out to sit down.
Okay, let's try this again.
Jack started organizing his thoughts. His mind still had a slight buzz from where he absorbed that holy book's knowledge. It kind of felt like drinking too much caffeine, but he didn't have that out-of-body experience. Maybe because he didn't have a flesh and blood body? Jack compiled his newfound information. Cultivation levels, known here as reverence levels of power, the noble ranking system, the names of the countries and independent groups, most importantly, how to read and write, but most shockingly, the layout of the world.
Oh wow. So this world is called the Nine Realms. I think I've heard of a story named that. Or was it a game? So I am currently in the underworld, and above me is the overworld. Where are the other 7 realms?
Jack pondered. As Jack was studying, the holy power left by the Holy Witch King had finally completely merged with Jack, unknowingly. Soon in Jack's eye sockets, 2 gold lights appeared. In the dark of his hollows, these glowing lights shone with a holy wrath. The last gift the Holy Witch King left to himself.
I think I get it, heh. I am going to completely bullshit my way out of this. I am going to roleplay a badass. Let's see if I can put my RP skills to the test here. Ha!
Jack rose and walked out of his study. As Jack walked into the hall, Leslie was already waiting for him. Countess Leslie looked at her grace. She could tell that he was very different from before, a lot like himself. She walked over.
My dear, are you ready for your court to begin?
Without turning his head, Jack's gold glowing pupils looked down at Leslie.
Yes, the world has grown arrogant in my absence. It is time I humble them.
Jack's heroic voice echoed.